exceptional.
A military soldier is resurrected, brought back through the use of biotechnology by a team of scientists intent on manipulating him. But when he discovers their twisted plan, he realizes he must stop the impending doom they've set in motion, no matter the cost. In Mombasa, military Air Force troops, including a seasoned veteran named Ray Garrison, are on a critical rescue mission. Their goal, to take down a gang of ruthless thugs who have already eliminated 4 hostages. As the troops search the area, they receive a sitrep from comrades suggesting they relocate. Suddenly, Ray finds the target area and catches the low murmur of voices inside, a conversation between the thugs. Thinking quickly, Ray bangs on the door. Immediately, gunfire erupts, bullets tearing through the door as he narrowly dodges aside. Wasting no time, he hurls a stun grenade through the fresh hole in the door. The blast blinds and disorients the thugs, making it nearly impossible for them to see or hear. Ray seizes the moment and attacks, even as his lieutenant's voice crackles through his earpiece, warning him to hold back. But Ray eliminates the targets in seconds. Hearing a noise from upstairs, Ray moves in. Tossing a smoke grenade inside, he slips in undetected. As the smoke clears, Ray spots the final thug, a dangerous man, holding a gun to a hostage's head. Ray steps forward slowly, and the thug commands him to drop his weapon. Ray complies, carefully placing his gun on the floor. They exchange tense words, Ray stalling as he gathers information. The thug, desperate, demands a helicopter escape and insists the troops retreat. Then he calmly asks, "Where's the phone?" The thug glances away for a split second, and that's all Ray needs. Bang! The thug falls, and the mission is complete. The team returns to the Aviano Air Base in Italy, where they're granted leave. Ray reunites with his wife, Gina Garrison, and the joy of seeing her fills him with relief. Together, they escape to the Amalfi Coast, a peaceful village where they check into a quaint hotel to unwind. The next morning, Ray awakens to a note from Gina, saying she's gone to get breakfast. He heads to the bathroom to freshen up, only to be ambushed. Out of nowhere, 2 thugs overpower him, knock him unconscious, and whisk him away. When Ray wakes, groggy and restrained, he realizes he's a prisoner. The man in charge, a sinister figure named Martin Axe, swaggers in, dancing to music and smirking as he eyes Ray. Martin coolly questions him, probing about the U.S. military's involvement in their hostage operation. Ray refuses to talk, glaring defiantly at Martin. In response, Martin smirks, revealing a cruel twist. Gina has been kidnapped too. Now, Martin demands, who tipped you off? Desperate, Ray yells, I don't know anything, I'm just following orders. But his words do nothing to sway Martin, who, without hesitation, mercilessly eliminates Gina right in front of Ray's eyes. Devastated and furious, Ray vows, I'll make you pay, Martin. I swear it. Later, Ray awakens in a sterile, high-tech room at Rising Spirit Technologies laboratories. Dizzy and disoriented, he looks around as Dr. Emil Harding, the lead scientist, and a woman named KT hurry to his side. Confused, Ray asks, Where am I? What happened to me? Dr. Emil speaks calmly, trying to ease his panic. He explains that the military occasionally donates disabled veterans to their lab for healing and rehabilitation through advanced biotechnology. You're the first, Dr. Emil says, the first successfully resurrected RST human, the centerpiece of our Bloodshot program. You were dead, Ray, but the nanites brought you back. As Dr. Emil describes how his blood was replaced by billions of microscopic nanites, now healing and protecting him from harm. To prove it, Dr. Emil leads him to a lab, cuts his hand, and Ray watches in awe as the wound closes up, regenerating in seconds. See? Dr. Emil remarks. But remember, those nanites need recharging, so you'll have to top them up regularly. Dr. Emil then introduces Ray to other patients in the rehabilitation center. Marcus Tibbs, a former U.S. Army Ranger whose vision has been enhanced with advanced ocular prosthetics, and Jimmy Dalton, an ex-Navy SEAL with engineered legs. Ray also meets KT, a former U.S. Navy swimmer, now equipped with enhancements in her larynx and trachea, allowing her to breathe underwater with clavicle-mounted respirators. That night, haunted by horrific memories of Gina and Martin, Ray struggles to sleep. Needing an outlet, he heads to the rehab center and begins working out, testing his newfound strength. He notices KT swimming and joins her for a quiet conversation. As they talk, KT offers him a drink to help him relax. But as they sip, Ray suddenly hears the same haunting music Martin played when he executed Gina. The memory slams into him like a tidal wave, and everything comes rushing back. His murder, Gina's screams, Martin's face. Enraged, Ray knows what he must do, find Martin and make him pay. Fueled by fury, he hacks into the RST system with his nanites, uncovering Martin's location, Budapest. Without wasting a second, Ray sets off, his mind fixed on revenge. Soon, he arrives, staring down a convoy of security vehicles surrounding Martin. One by one, Ray takes down the guards with ruthless precision, each strike observed by Dr. Emil on the lab's monitors, who marvels at the unstoppable weapon his creation has become. Ray successfully eliminates Martin, who in his final moments exclaims, "RST is lying to you about your wife." Shocked, Ray begins to realize that Martin had his own twisted plan, to use the Bloodshot program to make Ray hunt down every former associate who betrayed him. Back at RST headquarters, Dr. Emil, watching the mission's end, coldly orders KT, Tibbs, and Dalton bring Ray back to the facility. Once they retrieve him, Dr. Emil sedates Ray, then instructs his co-scientist Eric reset the nanites and alter his memory of Gina's death, replace Martin with Nick Barris. As they prepare to reset Ray, KT, deeply disturbed, protests. But Dr. Emil dismisses her, his voice steely. "Interfere and I'll shut down your enhancements, permanently." Ray wakes up again, completely unaware of his past missions. Dr. Emil reintroduces him to RST and the enhancements to his body. During their conversation, Ray starts recalling fragmented memories of Gina's death, now convinced that Nick Barris is the one responsible. Consumed by anger, he sets off to find and eliminate Barris, tracking him to East Sussex. Dr. Emil monitors Barris's hideout through surveillance and notices an unfamiliar man speaking with Barris. Eric explains, "That's Wilfred Wiggins, a top programmer. His skills were crucial in the creation of the nanites." Concern flashes across KT and Dr. Emil's faces as they realize Barris might have enlisted Wilfred's help. Dr. Emil grimaces. Barris must know he's the next target. Through the cameras, they watch Wilfred hand Barris an electromagnetic pulse, EMP bomb, a weapon that could incapacitate Ray. Wilfred explains the bomb's charging mechanism and hands Barris a remote control, advising him to be prepared. As Dr. Emil frantically orders Ray to return, the signal cuts out. The transmission's been intercepted. Meanwhile, Ray reaches Barris's office, eliminating every guard in his path. Finally confronting Barris, he accuses him, "You killed my wife." Barris, bewildered, stammers, "What? RST is lying to you. I had nothing to do with it." But Ray, blinded by rage, doesn't listen and finishes Barris without hesitation. As Ray turns to leave, Wilfred activates the EMP remotely. Ray's nanites shut down instantly, severing his connection to RST. Wilfred seizes the opportunity and brings Ray into his office. There, he administers a high-voltage shock, jolting Ray awake and reactivating the nanites. As Ray blinks in confusion, trying to remember, Wilfred introduces himself with a grin. "Relax, I'll help you break free." Trying to make sense of it all, Ray watches as Wilfred proudly explains his own skills. As Wilfred speaks, Ray is suddenly overwhelmed by a flood of conflicting memories, faces blurring, the identity of Gina's killer shifting again and again. Shaken, Ray asks, "What's happening to me?" Wilfred's face turns serious as he reveals the truth. RST has been manipulating Ray all along. He explains how Dr. Emil used him to eliminate former associates, resetting and resurrecting him each time. Realizing the full extent of his betrayal, Ray vows, "Then I'll make Dr. Emil pay." But Wilfred stops him. "If you go back, they'll regain control over you. They'll make you believe I'm Gina's killer next." Wilfred's tone is firm. He can't let RST keep using Ray as their weapon. Undeterred, Ray cuts his hand, allowing the nanites to drip into a cup. "Reverse engineer them," he urges. "You're the only one who can." Wilfred nods, understanding the urgency. Before leaving, Ray is handed a phone connected to a satellite to help him locate Gina, who he now hopes might still be alive. Back at RST Labs, Dr. Emil, enraged, pressures Eric, "Find the connection." Eric locates Ray's car, and Dr. Emil immediately dispatches Tibbs and Dalton to bring him back. Following the satellite's guidance, Ray arrives in London and finds Gina's residence. Heart-pounding, he rings the doorbell, and Gina opens the door, greeting him with a warm hug. But Ray's relief is shattered as Gina explains, "Ray, we ended things 5 years ago. I've moved on. I have a family now." Ray's heart sinks as he sees a child calling Gina Mommy. Stunned, he silently turns and walks away, unable to say goodbye. On his way back to Wilfred's office, Ray is blindsided. Tibbs and Dalton crash into his car. Ray jumps out, but Dalton manages to hit him with an electric charge that fries his nanites. They open fire, but Ray escapes. Tibbs, tracking him from above, directs Dalton in a high-stakes chase that ends with both men getting run over by a truck. Dalton's mechanical legs are shattered, and as Ray moves to finish him, Tibbs ambushes him, stabbing him with a device that secures RST's control over Ray's nanites once again. Dr. Emil wastes no time. He orders Ray back to the lab, where they strip his memories yet again. Dr. Emil asks KT to capture Wilfred. When she refuses, he deactivates her enhancements, making her gasp in pain. "I can end your life with a button," he threatens, before restoring her enhancements. Left with no choice, KT heads to London. Tracking Wilfred to Soho, KT finds him just as he's leaving a building with his guards. Seizing her moment, she approaches him casually. Got a light? She asks, taking the lighter and as he obliges, blowing smoke into his face laced with a knockout agent. Wilfred collapses and KT springs into action, taking down his guards with swift, lethal precision, ensuring no one can stop her. Instead of eliminating Wilfred, KT makes a bold decision. She conspires with him to break free from RST's control and put an end to the Bloodshot project once and for all. A while later, she reports back to Dr. Emil, claiming, "Wilfred escaped. It was Eric's mistake." Furious, Dr. Emil instructs Eric, implant Wilfred's image in Ray's mind. KT storms out of the room, heading straight to the control center. There, she sabotages Ray's reprogramming by switching out the SIM and linking it to Wilfred's computer. Instantly, Dr. Emil senses the tampering and rushes to the command center to stop her. Meanwhile, Wilfred seizes control of RST's entire administration. Knowing Dr. Emil is coming for her, KT suits up, donning body armor and grabbing smoke grenades. The second Dr. Emil steps into the room, he tries to disable KT's enhancements, only to find he's locked out. KT hurls a smoke grenade at him, then darts out, using the cover to escape. Moments later, she sets off a series of bombs, reducing RST technologies to rubble as she walks away, the explosions lighting up the night behind her. Elsewhere, Dr. Emil readies Tibbs and Dalton to finish Ray off, suiting them up in full combat gear and advanced weaponry. Tibbs uses cybernetic surveillance to locate Ray, who's heading to the 74th floor. As Ray steps onto the floor, Dalton activates his advanced tech, and the two engage in a brutal fight. Though Ray quickly gains the upper hand, Tibbs joins the fray. But even together, they can't overpower him. As the fight intensifies, the building starts collapsing around them. Tibbs, barely hanging on, pleads for help, but Dalton lets him fall. Ray grabs Dalton, both plummeting down the structure. The fall finishes Dalton, but Ray, shielded by his nanites, survives unscathed. Meanwhile, Dr. Emil tries to make his escape, but Ray stops him, throwing Dalton's artificial leg to block his path. Desperate, Dr. Emil exits the car and fires a grenade at Ray, hoping to deplete the nanites. Ray keeps coming, so Dr. Emil shoots another grenade. Ray catches it midair, triggering Dr. Emil's last hope that Ray's nanites will run out. But as Ray closes in, he pulls the grenade pin, detonating it, taking down Dr. Emil in the blast. A while later, Ray wakes up in a quiet trailer with Wilfred at his side. Wilfred explains, "I brought you back. I've enhanced your endurance, made your nanites fully independent." Realizing he's free, Ray embraces his new beginning. He, KT, and Wilfred are finally ready to forge a new path. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, please like, subscribe to our channel, and let us know which movie you'd like us to cover next.